What up, kinfolk? It's your boy Screwface Capone in the house. It is Saturday, January 16th, and you are looking at the debut of my new section. This is the top 5. What this basically is beside a way of trying to get new content for my channel and get more videos out, it's basically a section where I go through the top 5 news items of the week and let you know what I think about them. So if you like what you're watching, hit that thumbs up icon and make sure you click that subscribe button and click the little bell icon. That way you'll know when I put out new videos. For instance, yesterday I put out my top 10 games that I played in 2020. So if you haven't checked that one out, click the card that just appeared, or you can check out the link below. But anyway, let's hop into it. So the first big item, this past week, Lucasfilm has announced that Disney has announced that they're reviving the Lucasfilm Games banner. A lot of you remember LucasArts back in the days, who created the Star Wars video games, of course. And they didn't just do that either. They also created Indiana Jones games, adventure games like Labyrinth and Day of the Tentacle. So they're reviving that brand name. Now the developer was shut down back in 2012 when Disney acquired Lucasfilms, and basically they're not really so much reviving the developer as they are reviving the brand. But basically, what this means is that any company that works with their IP, the Lucasfilm Games branding is going to be applied to that package, kind of like what Marvel does now. With the PS4 Spider-Man, the Avengers game, and Ultimate Alliance, you see that there's that Marvel Games branding on it. So that's what this is basically going to be. And it looks like we're going to be seeing the fruits of that shortly, because this past Monday, Bethesda announced that they were working on an Indiana Jones game, which is developed by Wolfenstein developer Machine Games. It was a short, basically they showed it off in a short teaser. It didn't show anything about the gameplay or obviously release, or even what systems it's coming to. And that's an interesting note, because as you know, Microsoft is in the process of acquiring Bethesda. Now that deal is expected to be completed this week. But as far as system exclusivity, Microsoft said that they will be reviewing exclusivity for their upcoming projects on a case-by-case basis. This is everything from obviously this game to Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, I think it is. Now we also know that the games Deathloop and Ghostwire are timed exclusives for the PlayStation 5, and that's still going to be the case. But for now, it's going to be interesting to see what direction you're going to go with this Indiana Jones game. If they decide to keep it an Xbox exclusive, then that's going to be a huge hit for the system if they can do it right. And I do kind of have faith in Machine Games. I didn't play Youngblood, but I felt Wolfenstein, the New Order, and the New Colossus were both pretty good games. So obviously we'll learn more about it throughout the next coming months, and hopefully if Machine Games can pull it off, we'll have a good Indiana Jones game. And even if it's not an Xbox exclusive, then it'll likely be coming to Game Pass on day one. So yeah, this is definitely going to be something to watch out for, especially if you like the old Indiana Jones flicks. Alright, so one of the side effects of this new branding is that EA will be losing exclusivity rights to Star Wars in 2023. Now, they can still make games with the Star Wars franchise, but they won't be the only developers or publishers doing so. Of course, you remember they put out Battlefront and Battlefront 2. Battlefront was derided for having no lack of single-player modes, and Battlefront 2, while they did have a single-player mode, a lot of people didn't like the story too much, and there were a lot of microtransactions and loot boxes at launch. It got so bad that I think there was even a federal investigation. But the game, word has it that the game actually improved over time, so that's a good thing. Of course, it's free on the Epic Games Store. You can also play it on Xbox Game Pass. So the Epic Games Store Edition is a Celebration Edition, which has all the content from launch until Rise of Skywalker. So just keep that in mind. Along with those two games, EA also put out Jedi Fallen Order, and last year they put out Squadrons. Now, Jedi Fallen Order is a single-player game with no paid DLC and no microtransactions. It's a action game that takes place shortly after Episode 3. It was developed by Respawn Entertainment, so they're the ones behind the new Apex Legends and Titanfall. So it's a great game. It's the type of game that fans have been wanting to see from game developers, but you get the feeling that EA put it out because they had to at that point. And the same with Squadrons. Like, that's a multiplayer shooter game, but again, not only was it budget priced, but it also didn't have any paid DLC and no microtransactions. As a matter of fact, EA even released free DLC for the game. So that's a good thing. So this new branding is going to be the best of both. Is going to work out for everybody. EA can maybe put out a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, or who knows what else they can work on. And also, as we know, Ubisoft is going to put out their own open world Star Wars game. Now, it's a bit difficult to talk about Ubisoft when you know that this past summer they were exposed for this big sexual harassment deal, but judging strictly on the games basis, like recent games like Watch Dogs Legion and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, then if they get a good team, the team that's working on is Division 2 is the developer behind Division 2, so we'll see how that turns out for them. But still, I'd like to see some other developers take a crack at Star Wars games too, like maybe Capcom and Namco doing a proper Star Wars fighting game, not like that Masters of the Terra Karasi crap that came out. Or maybe Squaresoft doing a JRPG style game, or maybe BioWare can finally do Knights of the Old Republic 3, or maybe even getting like an indie developer behind it, like say Supergiant Games, or like there's just so many ways you can take it now. So hopefully we can start seeing some more good Star Wars games in the future. Circling back to the Epic Games Store, the game Hitman 3 is scheduled to be released this coming week on the 20th. So one of the features in the game is that players who own the previous games, Hitman 1 and 2, can carry over their progress and play the levels within Hitman 3. And on the consoles, Xbox One and PS4, this won't be a problem, because if the game detects that you have them, then they'll download the access pass for free, and you can play Hitman 1 and 2 within 3. However, on the PC edition, it's a bit different because the game will be an Epic Store exclusive, and while Hitman 1 is available on the Epic Games Store, Hitman 2 will not be. So when Hitman 3 comes out, if you want to play the Hitman 2 levels within Hitman 3, then you're going to have to pay for the access pass, even if you own the games on Steam. So basically, if you want to play Hitman 1 and 2 within Hitman 3, then you're going to have to buy them again. Of course, if you had Hitman 1 when it was released for free on the Epic Games Store, then you'll get those levels. But you know what? Let me go to the browser because they can explain it there better than I could. It's kind of convoluted. Alright, so with Hitman 3 now in the Steam Store, things are a little dicier. For PC, if they pre-purchase or purchase Hitman 3 within the first 10 days of launch on the Epic Games Store, they'll be getting the Hitman Game of the Year Access Pass at no additional cost. Also, if you own Hitman the complete first season on the Epic Games Store when it was available for free, you'll be able to download the Access Patch at any time after purchasing Hitman 3. So I guess Hitman 2 isn't even available on the Epic Games Store, so even if you own Hitman 2 on Steam, you'll need to buy it if you want to play those levels in the updated Hitman 3 version. That said, there's an 80% discount for the first 14 days after Hitman 3's launch if you're willing to pay to play Hitman 2 and Hitman 3 on PC. So basically what they're saying is if you get the game within the first 10 days of launch, then you get the Access Pass, which will give you Hitman 1 for free. And of course that will only let you play Hitman 1, the levels from Hitman 1 and within 3. But and if you have Hitman 1 already, then you get the Access Pass. You also get the Access Pass for free. But either way, you still have to pay to be able to play Hitman 2 within Hitman 3, and that's going to be 80% off when it does release. So that's even if you bought it on Steam. So that's not very convenient for gamers. That's not consumer friendly. And while I have no major complaints against the Epic Game Store, this is the kind of fuckery that detractors were worried about when it was first announced and when they were buying up exclusive rights to games. So yeah, pretty dick move on IO Interactive. But speaking of the game, it'll also be the PS4 version will have VR mode, and you can also play it on your PS5, but you have to use your PS4 DualSense rather than the PS5 controller. And of course, you can play it on Xbox Series X. It'll also be available on Xbox Series X with the Xbox One version will be available with Series X thanks to smart delivery. So if you got an Xbox One now, then once you do upgrade and once they get back in stock, you can upgrade to the Series X version for free. And of course, it's also coming to Nintendo Switch via cloud streaming. So Control was released a few months ago, and that's also cloud streaming. So we'll see how those work. So we'll see how it works out for the Nintendo Switch, if it's a viable way to go. But I'll personally go with the console version, or I'll personally go to the console version if you're new to it. As far as the PC version, then well, depending on how much progress you made in Hitman 1 or 2, you might want to and if you're willing to pay to get Hitman 2, then you can go with that version as well. But still a dick move from IO Interactive and also Epic Game Store as well. Finally, this past week was the Consumer Electronics Show for Winter 2021. And what that is the big event where gaming and electronics manufacturers show off new stuff. So one of the things that were shown off there was Arcade 1-Up and their new cabinets that they got coming out later this year. So let's take a look at them. And this is from website Gaming Nexus. So it's basically 8 new cabinets that they're coming out with. They got the X-Men 4-player arcade cabinet. It's got the X-Men game along with Captain America and the Avengers from Data East, along with Avengers and Galactic Storm, which is a one-on-one fighting game. So yeah, the neat thing about this is that they don't just have what's advertised on it, they got more than that. So of course if you're going to pay like $200, $300 each, then they better have some value. Here are the Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. These are basically the same thing, they just got a different look. They both have the Dragon's Lair 1 and 2 along with Space Ace, the classic arcade Laserdisc games from Don Bluth that were animated by Don Bluth. So if you like those, and check those out. And then you got Killer Instinct Arcade, which has Killer Instinct 1, 2 along with the arcade version of Battletoads along with Battletoads and Double Dragon. And down here you got the Atari Legacy Edition, Bandai Namco, Capcom Legacy Edition, and the Pong 4-player table. So you can go to the site, and I'll put a link to this in the description, so you can see what each one will have on it and see more features about it. Now, I have an apartment, so I only have so much room, plus I really don't want to drop $300. I'd rather, I'm more like I like the at-game stuff more because they pack more into their stuff. But if you like that real arcade feel, then these are definitely something you want to check out. They even come with custom risers if they're too small for you. So again, if you like old school arcade games, then this is definitely going to be for you. I know Arcade 1UP is also going to come out with some new stuff, some other different stuff like a plug-and-play console, I think. I'll have to look that up, but still, some pretty cool stuff coming up on the way, including some. So that was the first edition of my top 5. I'm trying to come up with a name for it. Anyway, what did you think? Anything newsworthy that you thought should have made the list? Let me know in the comments. Also, click the thumbs up icon, and if you want to see if you liked it, I'm sure you did. If you want to see more, then hit that subscribe button and click the little bell icon. That way you'll know when I put out new videos. I got the second part of my 2021 stuff coming up this week. It's going to be a look at 20 games I got my eye on for this year. So definitely check that out. Again, hit that subscribe button and click the little bell icon. Because I know a lot of you are watching these videos, but not a lot of you are subscribed. But the vast majority of you aren't subscribed to them, and you'll definitely want to know when I put out a new video. So again, like, comment, subscribe, share, let your friends know, and until next time, I'm Audi 51000G, kinfolk.